Alright guys, welcome back. I'm going to talk to you today about how to create your own diorama light fixtures. Going to go through two really quick examples. You can take what I covered today and start to develop your own. So first thing first, we're going to start with our baseline sketch. So one of the big things to keep in mind is everything starts with the quality of your sketch. So I'm going to assume my fixture will be about a foot in diameter. So I'm going to go 1 inch in diameter, and I'm going to start creating some circles. So this center circle is going to be where the LED bulb would come through. And then I'm going to create some additional concentric circles to add some um, layers, I guess, to the lamp. And so, it's generally easier if you have an idea of what you want the end result of your light fixture to look like. So the first thing, like I said, is to develop a really good sketch. I'm going to zoom in here a little bit just so you can see the number of lines before we start extruding. So you can kind of see as you click in that center line and the next line and so on, you can start to highlight those to get ready to extrude them. So the first thing that I'm going to do is to select all of these, and I'm going to extrude in the negative so they all stay together. I'm going to go about 2 millimeters here, and this is a little less than an eighth of an inch. You don't want to go too thick, but you also don't want to go too thin either to make it more fragile. So I'm going to start extruding out these different rims. And if you really wanted to go with a simple fixture, you definitely don't have to go with this number of layers. But it's just something that I chose to do today to kind of demonstrate the importance of having centered and concentric circles. So I'm going to do 3 of them here, kind of like you see those decorative lights at Lowe's. And then I'm going to put these little curves on the edges of the fixtures. And again, you don't really see fixtures that are square corners. So I'll either use a chamfer or a rounded fillet like I am right here. And again, you can kind of do this like with just one layer of these outlines. I just kind of wanted to demonstrate what this would look like with multiple layers and multiple heights. So we got the frame done, I guess, if you will, and now we're going to move to the actual globe of the light. So we're going to go with, I believe it was right around 0.7 inches. So I'm going to create a globe, and then I'm going to split it in half. So there's a split tool, and I'm going to kind of come along here. I'm going to say split it along the horizontal plane. And since it's a sphere, it really wouldn't matter. It just helps with orientation to kind of get that through there. And that's going to turn that one body into 2. I'm going to hide, not that one, but this one. And then I'll be able to have a better idea of, what this will look like. And I got to select bodies before I start sliding it over to the actual fixture. Again, just to kind of see how things line up. So switching views here, I'll slide it over. And you can kind of see I extruded that dome and made it hollow. So that you could actually stick an LED bulb in there if you desired to do so. So I'm going to slide it over here, and I'm not too concerned about getting it exactly lined up. I just want to get it close enough to kind of see what it would look like once it gets done printing. So that's close enough for today's project and what I want to do with it, and just to kind of give you an overhead of how that would line up if I were to print it out as it is. So generally for these globe pieces, I'm going to go ahead and do it in a clear resin and moving on to a more decorative fixture. So I found a scalable vector graphic, or SVG, of a cross. I know that there's a lot going on with cathedral type themes, so I just found a really quick cross, kind of a light fixture that I'll start with. So I'll do that, and I'm doing offset. And the reason these offsets are important is this is kind of what allows you to have the fixture, which is what mounts on the wall, along with the glass fixture itself. So create a series of these, and I am on a 11-year-old MacBook Pro, so this does take a little while to do it. You just wait for the computer to do its thing, and keep doing your offsets however you want to do them, like so. I'm going to click Finish Sketch, and it's thinking, and I'm thinking too along the way of how I'm going to do this. I'm going to just bear with me here just a minute. And it's calculating, and I'm going to zoom in, and then I'm going to start extruding all these sketches into the negative again, just to kind of get, so I get the basic frame of the cross fixture. and then I'm going to show you how to do the actual globe portion of the fixture. In this case, it wouldn't really be a globe, but it's the glass portion of the fixture. So I want to basically be able to see my sketches again. And you'll see here that there's kind of a gap there between um, um, the frame, I guess, or of the fixture and the globe. So I'm going to change this dimension just a hair, so that the fixture itself, or the glass cover, will fit a little more snug into the body of the fixture. So the other thing to keep in mind is that it may look one way on the screen, but until you go ahead and print it out, it's very difficult to kind of figure out what it would feel like, and you may print something 2 or 3 times. 3 millimeters in a sketch this size looks huge, but when you print it out on a resin printer, it's not quite as dramatic. But it does kind of give you an idea of what that would look like, assuming that you printed it out as is. So just about got my offset fixed the way that I like it, or that I think would work best. And I'm going to click OK. And there I should be able to go, and I'm going to start clicking these profiles, that one and that one. And now I'm going to extrude, and I'm going to start with 3 millimeters. And I'm probably, once I get this done, I'm going to extrude it a little bit more so that the glass piece would stick out just a little bit more. And now I'm going to slide this over to the right, and you'll be able to see in a little bit more detail what this would look like once it came out of there. So that would actually be the glass portion if this is the route that you went. And I chose, in this case, not to put a hole for the LED. I think the previous example kind of gave you an idea of what I was shooting for there. And not everybody wants to put LEDs in their light fixtures. And there's some things you can do with chamfering the edges, kind of like I showed you in the previous example. But to keep this video as short as possible for you and for me, I choose to just kind of leave it the way that it is. And as I rotate it there, you can kind of see what it looks like, and I'm going to extend it out a little bit more. Again, to give it a little bit more shape, so that if I did decide to hollow it out, you would be able to put a bulb in there. Alright, so that's it for today. I hope this was somewhat helpful. Please comment below, subscribe, tell a friend. Always looking for new ideas for other tutorials. Thank you, and have a good weekend.